Try to have your own directions. Find out what you need to be doing. Identify the radar within you, which gives you direction, which directs you. Figure out what are the preparatories, protocols, standardizations, initializations. Crack open the memory capsule of yoga, the yogology, the embodimentology, and the selfology. As I said the other day, you're all familiar with these days with YouTube, but understand the subjective iTube. So part of find out what is the logging, invitation to composite collective community dynamics. Breath by breath and by the breath, and find out why it should not be called breath because of what it does, because of what its potentials are, what its functions are. So try to engineer out the process. Try to do the things in proper sequential orders and not do the things randomly by memory. Oh, oh, oh. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचाम् मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनाम् पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारम् शङ्खचक्रातिधारिणम् सहस्रशिरतं श्वेतम् प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिम् हरिः ओम् bow your head down to the heart and surrender there with exhalations. Drop the palms and open the eyes. Having done what you did, you want to proceed. Is that right? Having done what you did, you want to proceed. But I'm suggesting take an assessment, have a self-assessment in what you did so far. What is it that you missed? What major aspects did you miss? And what minor aspects you missed? What you should have done? What you could have done? So try to have your own assessment. Don't think having done, you are done and proceed to next. Having done, try to have an assessment. You might have missed certain major things. You might have missed certain minor things, which are in your consideration, major and minor. You should have done certain things which you did not do. Maybe time was not allowed for various reasons. I said you have to go on your own. You went on your own. We are supposed to have an assessment. What did I do? What I should have done? What could have been done? What was missed? What vital things were missed? And what minor things were missed? After having done whatever you have done, don't proceed to next. I hope you understand the purport of this in education, in yoga, education, and adhyasana. So actually, we don't allow the time that is required for what is expected of you because we want to finish it off like that. Because you all think it is prayers, it is invocation, it is mechanical ritual. Get done and proceed further to start doing something. So maybe we will not allow you time, but you will have to figure out with a given time that you have, next time you have to rationalize and you see you don't miss some of the major aspects. Protocol, initialization, sanitizations, the networking, the internal Wi-Fi. I don't know how many of you missed silent utterance today because I did not say that. So you'll have to be little self-critical about what did I really miss? Did I miss any major thing? The major and minor, there are two things. One, in your consideration, something is major and minor. The other one is from the point of view of yoga, not subjective aspect influencing it. From the point of view of yoga, something is major, something is minor. From your point of view, something is major, something is minor. I deliberately missed it. I did not say silent utterance. Now figure out how many of you missed it. It's not justifiable. I have not come across any student who says, please allocate more time for this, what we call as invocation and prayers, which is not invocation and prayers merely. It is crack open the memory capsule of yogology and embodimentology. But nobody has this complaint, it is not sufficiently done. You don't give sufficient time. Nobody is blaming me. I want you to blame me. Sir, you are not given ample time. Why don't you give ample time for me to accomplish all that? In last 52 years of my teaching in the institute, nobody has ever complained about. You give, suppose I make you teach chapter and 2 minutes come down. You say, oh no, sir, it was insufficient. If I make you only one Udon lesson, you say insufficient. You should give 10 times. But nobody has complained about this so far. Because you have not accorded priority to something which is very, very important. It's a launch file, commencement point. It should be more profound than it has been. I don't know how much it is meaningful for you, what I said, how much it is meaning for you, where I consume the time, your time. For how many of you it is a waste of time? Okay. Now, those who get the place for ropes, you will go for ropes at windows, etc. Listen. I'm not going to give you directions. I'm not going to tell you beyond that what to do. I said you have to do the first rope. I'm not going to say beyond anything that, which usually happens in a class. Stretch your leg, open your chest, inhale deeper, exhale deeper, head back, buttocks tight, this tight, that tight, harden, straighten, stretch, elongate. I'm not going to say anything. You have to figure out what are you doing? What should you be doing? How you are doing it? How ideally you should be doing it? Why are you doing it? And why you should be doing it? Because education is these are the basic aspects of education. What, how, why? You try to decipher those things. What are you doing? What should you do? How are you doing? How should you do? Why are you doing? And why should you do? In the light of this is the pranayam class, shvasayam class. Proceed. So quickly go for others can be seated on the mat and you can be doing seated position, supine position, whichever, quickly. So in the light of shvasayam and pranayam, so quickly take the places in the windows. Not that rope. Not that rope. So put up the rope at the window and you can do the first rope away from the wall. Others on the mat, you can do either seated or supine position. In the light of Shvasayam Pranayam, find out what are you doing? Ideally, what should you be doing? What are you doing? How are you doing? Why are you doing? What should you be doing? How should you be doing? And why should you be doing? Because you are having already some education. So how much is based on education that you already have? And what is the education that is emanating today? काय करता है वेळ का घालवता है? So how much the education is coming as a causal body, and how much the education is resulting out of what you are doing, how you are doing, why are you doing? So I am not going to give those instructions which are all used to. The teachers these days are actually quacks, and that's why they tell you every single thing what to do. Leg straight, arm straight, pull, push, in, out, up, down, exhale, inhale. Focus your mind. Watch and sense and feel, etc. I'm not going to say anything. On your own, find out how much the education is coming handy that you already have. And what is the education that you are getting out of the process. You can undo, redo, take a break, and again get to doing it. Now find out what are you doing? What ideally should you do? From yoga point of view and subjective point of view. From your point of view, what should you ideally do? You have a given condition. So you want to, negative condition, you want to mitigate dullness, inertia, etc., etc. So from your point of view, what should you do ideally? From yoga point of view, what should you do ideally? The both subjective and objective aspects. How are you doing whatever you are doing? How are you doing whatever you are doing? Ideally, how should you be doing in the subjective gravity and how something should be doing in objective gravity? Why are you doing? Why should you be doing? So probe into all that. Why are you doing? How are you doing? What are you doing? Change sides will be done by your own. But once you are in second side, don't go to first side. You can repeat the second side. There are people you can undo and redo. So have your own education, investigation. There is education coming as a base, as a basis. And there is education which is turned out. So what is the education that you have it? And what is the education that you are turning out? Let go, relax. Sit wherever you are or wherever you want to. Come up. Come out, come up quickly. Yoga is adhyatmic process. So understand the unique perspective has to be taken here. Instructional yoga is for raw beginners. Instructional yoga is for popular pop yoga, not classical yoga. You are all used to instructional yoga because all your teachers instruct you, instruct you, instruct you, instruct you. So, what are you doing? How are you doing? And why are you doing? These are the major questions which are important in educative dynamics, educational dynamics. Therein, what should you ideally do because of given condition that you have? Different people have different given conditions. So that's a subjective element. What should you do? Objective element, yoga point of view, what should you ideally do? So have that at sight so that you will be sometimes inclined to do that and you won't be very selfish and subjectivistic. This is good for me, I will do it. This is good for me, I will do it. So what yoga expects you to be doing? So what should you do from yoga point of view? What should you do from subjective point of view, the given condition? Similarly, how are you doing? Probe into that. Am I doing? Whatever am I doing? How am I doing? Whatever I am doing. How should I ideally do it because of subjective gravity? Or how should I do it ideally because of yogic gravity? Why should I be doing whatever I am doing under subjective gravity and under objective gravity as well? You are not coming here to have a self gratification. You are here to do something which is yoga. You can't be just going by self gratification. I want to feel fine. I want to feel nice, and therefore I'm doing. This consumerism is antithetic to education in yoga. Are you getting what I'm putting across? If not today, sooner or later, better sooner than later, that you should be identifying, understanding the purport of what I say. Change over. Change over. The ropes, mat option supine, mat option sitting. Quickly. So what are you doing? So there are so many things which are mechanical things. There are mechanical things, habitual things. So you have to be little critical about it and therefore probe what should I do in the light of Shwatayam and Pranayam because you all know it is Swasayam Pranayam class, because you all have laid this mat, which you don't lay as usually. I don't know why. All might have this idea. Asana class, sticky mat. Pranayam class, stick mat. Is there any logic, any reason behind it? So, in the light of Swasayam and Pranayam class, find out what should you do. What ideally should you do? There are two aspects. One is subjective and one is objective. Yoga point of view and your condition point of view. I'm not saying don't serve your condition, but don't just be stuck there. Don't just get stuck there. I need it, I will do it. I want it, I will do it. I like it, I will do it. Don't be stuck there. Then you don't really learn yoga. Why are you doing whatever you are doing? Spontaneously, naturally, habitually. How, how are you doing whatever is being done? How ideally it should be done under the gravity of subjectivism and under the gravity of objectivism. That is yoga. Why are you doing whatever you are doing? So critically observe as if it is not you, it is somebody else. Like with respect to somebody else, you will be critical. Why this person is doing? What is he doing? Why? How is he doing? You will be critical about that person. So similarly, look at you as you are a second person watching that person. So you'll be more objective in your observations. You can undo, redo, change of site will be done on your own. Once you go to second site, don't change. Don't come back to first. Now, what is the education which is as a base for you to negotiate? What is the education at the base? And what is the education which is emanating? What is the education that you are using? And what is the education that you are getting? Are you getting any education which is perhaps for the first time? Don't just depend upon the education that you already have it. It has to be used, it's a base. But find out any new education. Is there a dawn? Is there any dawn of new education? Are you getting any new education? So undo, redo, get prepared for Swasayam and Pranayam. To understand, although you are in asana, you have to understand that you are doing for Swasayam and Pranayam. In the light of that, the fact that it's a class of Swasayam and Pranayam. Let go. Relax. So on the basis of what, how, and why, you are getting education. You are getting it spontaneously within, organically. If I teach you something, then it is inorganic. I want you to learn that organically because much of yoga is organic process, not an inorganic process. So in different positions, you will have different education coming up for same precept. Why, what, how. What, why, how, why. In different positions, you will have different revelations, different education coming your way. And as you get better prepared, as you get better educated, the education will change. Now, those who get the place gone rope shisha are your favorite. Most of you are itching to do that. So go for your rope. लगेच पळाले. पहिली बॅच फर्स्ट प्रेफरन्स साधा एकदा लक्षात घ्या तुम्हाला शेअर मार्केटमध्ये तुम्ही आहात फर्स्ट प्रेफरन्स सेकंड प्रेफरन्स वगैरे काय ते आहे पहिल्यांदाच रोपा करून टाकायचा और दुसरा काहीतरी करून जास्त प्रिपेअर्ड होता, पण पहिला रोप स्टार्ट सुपाइन पोझिशन. Others settle down to Supta Virasana, Baddha Konasana, Matsyasan, with support or without support. Occupy the ceiling wall rope there. Quickly occupy the ropes. There is a rope there. Somebody get onto the rope there. Ceiling rope. Occupy all the ropes. But there are first batchers. पहिल्यांदा रोप पकडणार. हे सांग, ही सवय सोडून द्या. बऱ्याच गोष्टी तुम्ही शिकत नाही त्यामुळे. A man get up and go to the last rope there. Wall rope. Wall rope there. Last wall rope. एक हा रोप काढा, लूप करा. You go. Don't lose your time. चला या इकडे लवकर. So protocol, preparatives, initializations, commencements, standardizations. Because in my point of view, you are not still sufficiently prepared. Although now it is little over half an hour or about half an hour. Still you are not sufficiently prepared. So protocol, initializations, sanitizations, commencements. So why are you doing? You are going to do that for getting better prepared in terms of all these aspects. Now find out it's a different pose, different sanitization. It's a different position, different preparatory. It's a different position, it's a different protocol. So ideally, objectively, you should be doing that for that purpose, that you are trying to get better prepared. What are you doing? So whether the what is based on why or whether the why is based on what. Whether the how is based on why or vice versa. Or the how is based on what or vice versa. So all those protocol aspects, that is profound exhalation. So exhaling profoundly here has a different purpose. Not that you can't say, I have done earlier profound exhalation and whatever I did so far. But different position here. So profound exhalation, find out. So try to understand what is the education coming as a base. And what is the education which is coming as a reap? What is the education which is emanating? What is the education in the seed form? And what is the education in sprout form? So again, I repeat, what are you doing? What ideally should you do with subjective in subjective gravity and yogic gravity? How are you doing whatever you are doing? How ideally should you do whatever you are doing? Subjective gravity and yogic gravity, objective gravity. Why are you doing? As I just now said, you are trying to get better prepared. Subjectively, you are trying to consider that as well, that you are dull, you have got torpidity, you have got negative um, viruses in you, rajasic, tamasic viruses, and therefore you want to get rid of those. So you have a subjective condition which is antagonizing, which is discouraging, which is a spoiler. So that you have to handle and manage it. Why are you doing? Each one will have different subjective condition. And therein, there are certain negativistic aspects, negative aspects. You want to mitigate, you want to do away with those, etc. Then yogic gravity, objective. Yoga expects you a particular why. So what is that? And let me tell you at this juncture that it cannot be a instructional process because you all have different conditions within you. You have different backgrounds, different dispositions, different chemistry, different karmic baggages that you all have. Therefore, my process is not your process. You have to customize your process. That is why it is called Adhyatmic and spiritual. I cannot be imposing my process on you. It is because you have different karmic processes, baggages, you have different predilections, you have different gravities working on you. Somebody in you is young, somebody in you is old, somebody in you is weak, somebody in you is strong, somebody is hassle free, and somebody in you is hassleful. And therefore, understand that's why this is a technique process. You must have this literacy. So, as I just now told you, what ideally should you do from subjective gravity and objective gravity? Similarly, what? Similarly, how? And look at that person who is doing as a second person. Don't identify yourself with that person saying that I am doing, I am doing, I am doing. You won't be critical about that person if it is not a second person. So it is doing, and therefore you are not that, and therefore you will have to have, you will be unbiased. Otherwise, you are all biased. That is not the adhyatmic process that you must be working under bias. So as a posture, predesture, it is not that you are doing in asana class, you are doing in a pranayam class, swasayam class. As such, what different directions are you taking? What is education at the base and what is the education that is emanating? Education as seed, education as a sprout. So you can't be just doing, you have to be watching, you have to be sensing, you have to be perceiving, cognizing, observing, reading, experiencing. And every channel of it will give you some aspect of education. By doing, you get some education. By observing, you get some other education. By sensing, feeling, awareing, you get different education. By cognizing, perceiving, experiencing, you get another other aspects of education. So in the light that it's a Shvasayam Pranayam session, find out what is postural, breathestural, mindestural, speechestural, thoughtural aspects. They are unique then because these positions can repeat in your asana class. These positions can repeat in your asana class. But this is not an asana class, as you know. As such, try to understand, characterize the postural, breathestural, mindestural, speechgestural, thoughtgestural aspects and make them more and more compatible. Now go for closure. And as I said little while back, try to have assessment. I did not take up down. Closure, I said. Prepare yourself, signal yourself. Go for assessment. What did I do? How should I have done? What did I miss? What vital aspect did I miss? From your point of view and from yoga point of view. What major things did you miss? What minor things did you miss? How you are unaccomplished? Because some of you think you might think that you are accomplished because many of you did everything that you should have done. That is your estimate. That's your assessment. Now, bro, people will come down. Matt will come up. So, did you have your own assessment? What should I? What should I have done? How differently should I have done? Why I should have done? So, how do you improve in yoga? The Adhyatmic precept is this which comes in Bhagavad Gita. Uddharet atmanam natmanam avsadayet. You have to uplift yourself, evolve yourself by yourself. So, who is the lifter and who is lifted in you? Who is the lifting and lifted in you? In the material realm, something lifts you. Status lifts you. Money lifts you. Happiness lifts you. Sadness depresses you. Bad people around you depresses you. Alien people around you, what happens? Alive people around you, what happens? So all your upliftment depends upon external factors. They depend upon external factors, for which we have a better word in vernacular. It is called paristhiti, peripheral conditions. So very apt term. Paristhiti, antasthiti. Most of us are victims of paristhiti, and that agonizes us more, or that is bountiful for us. A propitious paristhiti, then it is propitious. Then you say, well, I am wonderful. It's all wonderful. Life is wonderful. So, uddharet atmanam natmanam avasadayet. Atmaiva atmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. You trace your enemies outside. You trace your friends outside. You want friends around you. You want friends outside you. You don't want enemies outside you. Something goes wrong with you, you blame someone. You blame a thing. You blame a person. You blame a situation. So your evolvement depends upon extraneous factors, external factors in material realm. In Adhyatma, it is all inherently within you, intrinsic to you. And therefore, the Bhagavad Gita verse says, uplift yourself by yourself. Then who is uplifter and who is uplifted? Who is uplifter and who is uplifted? Who is uplifting and who is uplifted? Understand the dichotomy. You have to uplift yourself. That means you are uplifter and you are uplifted and you are uplifting. Trichotomy. So it's a trichotomy. Changeover. Quickly occupy the ropes. A lady, get up and go to the rope there. Do it. Do it. A lady, come here. Any lady not done. If you have not found the place, go on the mat. You change your position. See see the conditioned mind. Everybody is using a poster. Everybody is using a poster because you can't imagine Shvasayam Pranayam without poster. You may not need me. I may be absent. Poster should not be absent. So change of position for you. So when the change of position is there, try to understand what is the protocol. The protocol has a purpose. Sanitization has a purpose. Preparatory has a purpose. Preliminaries have a purpose. Initializations have a purpose. So being in the position that you are now, than earlier, don't do pisting at a supine pose, supine position. So you have your own assessment. What am I doing? What are they doing? What should I do? What should they do? So see that it is more organic process. We should be based on education that you have. Then there is subjectivistic aspect because of given condition. We are not fully disposed. Still there is indisposed condition. Then you need to take certain precautions. So that is subjectivism. Objectively, yoga expects you to do in that particular thing. That what is decided by yoga. Profound exhalation, customized exhalation, customized inhalation. Why? Is to have better connectivity, better relativity, better um, needed condition, better unified condition, better integrated condition. Why? So for that purpose, we are doing it. How? How are you doing it? How ideally should you do it? I am not your teacher. So that is why that a theorem, yoga yoga pravartate. I want you to overcome that condition that which is like this. Because of Prashant, we are learning. I want you to overcome that. That is why I'm restraining from giving you instructions, etc. I am drawing your attention to something within you, internal to you, inherently in you, intrinsic to you, and I'm telling you to learn from that. Then that is on the lines of Uddharet Atman Atmanam. I should not be your Uddharta. I should not be uplifting you. Within you, something should be uplifting you, and something is uplifted which is yours, totally integrally yours. You are uplifted, you are uplifting, you are uplifter. So within yourself, body system, breath system, mind system, thought system, to find out who is uplifting whom. If your mind is uplifted, you are uplifted. Your mind, psyche, consciousness is uplifted, you are uplifted. If your body is uplifted, you are uplifted. Your mind is uplifted, you are uplifted. So what, how, and why? Subjectivistic gravity, and then find out how ideally it should be. Objectivistic gravity, how ideally it should be. Yogic gravity, how ideally it should be. You are not doing for your own gratification, you are doing for yoga. Don't do everything that you do for you to feel fine. Do something whereby yoga will feel fine, that yes, you are attempting and you are taking care of it. And otherwise, you get advisors. Suppose you have a mishap, there are people to advise you, take care, take care, take care, take care. If you are unwell, take care. If you are indisposed, take care. So you get these advices, take care, take care, take care. You are supposed to take care of yoga. Are you taking care of yoga? Why are you only taking your care? You are supposed to take care of yoga as well. So understand, it is primarily a predictable process, normal duty, heavy duty, feather touch duty, the breath working for body system and other systems, the breath working for body systems and other systems, and vice versa. There should be reciprocity. The breath working for the rest and rest working for breath. And that's not breath actually what you are doing. So that's why it is called pavana, it is called vayu, it is called prana, etc., etc. So understand what are the interactions, interplays, interresponses. Now you are going for closure. Suspend the process. Suspend the process. Suspend your wants. I want to do, I want to get, I want to do this and do that. Suspend that. What, how, why? And have a self assessment. What did I miss? What I should have done and did not do? What did not occur to my mind while I was in process? So, what did I miss, which was major from your point of view and yoga point of view? What did you miss, minor from your point of view and yoga point of view? Have your self assessment. So, you have more often you have your self assessments, you have better condition to progress, better condition to evolve. But if you never go for your own self assessment, then there is less scope that you will evolve. The rope people will come down. To understand this aspect of self-probing, self-investigation is important in that precept, Uddare Atman Atmanam of Bhagavad Gita. Mad people get up. Those who are not done the rope, go to the ropes. Those who have yet to do the ropes, quickly get onto the ropes. Others get up and be in seated position. Those who are not done the ropes, quickly occupy the ropes. Others be in seated position formally. If you want to use the wall, you can use the wall to sit. If you want a support to sit, you can take support to sit. Quickly settle down formally. Seated position, any seated position. Don't wait for me to tell you what to do. Based on education that you already have, figure out what should you do. What should you do? What are you doing? What should you do? So have a scrutiny because you will be anyway doing something. You will be anyway doing something, but have a scrutiny. What should I do in the light of Shwatayam Pranayam session? The Bradascharal, Bredo-cultural aspects get a prominence here. The Pavana gets a prominence here. The Vayu, internal Vayu gets a prominence here. The Pran gets prominence here. So it should be benefactor and beneficiary. There should be PPP and PPC. It is a giver, taker, getter. So what are you doing? I won't tell you. Sit erect, roll your shoulders back, shoulder in, open your chest, elevate the abdomen. I'm not going to tell you all those things. You have the information base about it. Use it. And now find out what are you doing? What should you ideally do under subjectivistic gravity and in absence of subjectivistic gravity, where objective gravity will emanate. These are not two gravities actually. Subjective gravity waning, objective gravity will be vexing. How are you doing whatever is being done? How it should be done ideally? Why are you doing whatever you are doing? Why it should be done? Now, as I said, it's a new position, so you have orientation aspect. That you have got to you have to get oriented. There are sanitizations. You have to weed out certain things. The conservation of the field, you have to go for field conservation, soil of the mind and soil of the body system. So some conservation has to be there. Normal duty, heavy duty, light duty breathing should be in place. They have a purpose, they have a function. Panchavayu breathing should be in place. Panchapran breathing should be in place. The Swara Kriya, Varna Kriya, find out is it right time for them to come in? What have you missed so far? It will tell you once you do something, you will say, I missed this in my earlier part. So you need to be self critical. Usually, we are all self considerate and we are other critical. We are critical about others, but self considerate. And we justify, oh, because of this problem I'm doing, I've got this condition, therefore I'm doing. You justify always your processes and you are always critical about somebody else's process. Couple of recovery cycles because it is entailed. You can't be incessantly in that process. So protocol aspect, profound exhalations, the mudra aspects. So there are several whys, WHY, several whys that you are activating anatomy. Most of you, we are so physiocratic here. You want to activate anatomy, anatomical organs, because our purpose is to be healthy in life. That's all. Why are you doing yoga? Not yoga chitta vritti nirodha, but we are doing for our health sake. So you want to activate your anatomy activated, activating. But then there are several whys. Anatomy can be given a wash, anatomy can be given a bath, anatomy can be given the defecation process, purification process. Now, all these things are brought to your notice throughout the education that you have had. Now, slowly withdraw the applications. There should be no what, why, how behind what you are doing. So that should be all withdrawn. Have self-assessment. What should I have done? How I should have done? Why I should have done? How I should have done? What I should have done? What did I miss? Which was major? Which was minor? From my point of view and yoga point of view, the rope people will come down. Rest of you let go. So this self-assessment is so important. It is human tendency that we will assess somebody else who is other than us. Although you don't have business to assess, you still assess. Although you have no business to assess me, all of you are assessing me, all of you have assessed me. Is that right? That's not none of your business to assess me, but you're all assessing and I am assessed by you. None of your business you do it. This is human tendency. So the wiser people, the saints and sages, say they call it, this is called avyapareshu vyapar. What we should not do, we indulge in that. जे करू नये तेच आपण करतो. प्राधान्याने तेच करतो. जे करू नये, what we should not do, we primarily do that. Assess others. As I said, we have no business to assess, but I am assessed by all of you. You all have assessment of me. You are not my assessors. Why did you assess me? When you should understand, I don't assess you at all. I should be assessing you from your point of view. I don't assess you. So try to have your assessments because more often you will be doing what you should not do. As I said the other day, in vernacular, there's a beautiful expression for that. ज्याला वाटेला लावायला पाहिजे त्याची आपण वाट बघतो. ज्याला वाटेला लावलं पाहिजे त्याची वाट बघत बसतो. So what should be expelled from you, you are waiting for that to happen. And therefore, this habit of having self-assessment. So if it is self-assessment, assessor is not self. It is the, or what is assess is not self. It should be second person. If it is, this is me, I am watching me, then you are biased. So imagine one who is doing within you is not you, but is Prashant. As you are very easily critical about Prashant, you will be critical about that. So don't think you are doing it. It is somebody else than you are who is doing it. So therefore, the Vedanta tells you it is not you, you think it is you. So always have this habit of having a self-assessment. What did I miss? Why did I miss? How did I miss? More often you will miss because you have wrong priorities in place. More often you miss the things because you have wrong priorities in place. So you'll otherwise never be aware of the fact that I have got wrong priorities. If you miss because of wrong priorities. And that will rationalize your process. Once you go on realizing that I'm neglecting what is so important, sometimes you will get the prick of the conscience. I am neglecting because I have different priorities. I have out of place priorities. I have wrong priorities. And that is why we miss what we miss. Not every time we miss because we forget. Why do we forget? Because we have wrong priorities. They are exercising gravity on you, and therefore you miss them. That is the process of self-evolvement is a kind of austerity. It is tapasya, it is austerity. So at least during your slot of yoga, try to be self-critical. Otherwise, you will be never critical, will be self-considerate. We always justify what we do. Except few exceptions that after match you say, no, I made a blunder, I made a mistake. But usually you try to justify. I am always right. Others are always wrong. This is our point of view. I am always right. Others are always wrong. Is there any rationale behind such conclusions? So since those who are on the rope did not do seated position, they will do seated position. You can change your seated position. So you have another opportunity. Start. Be seated, all of you. Because some of you were hanging on the rope, so you can be going for that. Others change your seated position. Quick, quick, quick. So what am I doing? Because that's a precept in Bhagavad Gita. Not even a moment would pass without you doing something or the else. So don't say I'm not doing anything. It's not true. You cannot have a condition I'm not doing anything. Nai kashit kshanapita jatu tistatya karmakrut. So you are certainly doing something. So hypercritically watch that. Start. What am I doing? What should I be doing? How am I doing? How should I be doing? Why should I be doing? Why am I doing? Why should I be doing? What is the protocol? What is the sanitization? I'm getting prepared. I am getting prepared. Every time you understand what are the preparatories. Preparatories are not only at the launch of the class. The preparatories are not only at the launch of the class. The preparatories is a constant process. I have taken this under this precept class that you are always trying to get prepared, even at the point of end of the class. At until that point, you are getting prepared somewhere, something. The preparatories don't end, and that's a signature condition that we are seekers. So have your own directions, have your own radar. What is the education which is coming as basis? And what is the education which is coming? Why are you looking at me? Which is the education which is the sprout? Having education and education coming. Figure it out. What education do you have? That is the matter to be assessed. What education is coming is a matter to be identified. So first has to be identified. I am getting this education. I have this education that should be assessed. You can relax for a while the process. And during that, you can have your the assessment process in place because you will be requiring breaks. You can't be doing something incessantly. So during that break, have this investigation, have this probing. What did I miss? In case if you identify something, subsequently you won't miss, it will be incorporated. So understand it entails that you must be watching, you should be sensing, you should be perceiving, cognizing, reading, experiencing, eyes closed, eyes closed. It is natural for you to keep eyes open. So because it is Shwasayamic, pranayamic, you have to understand the important aspects such as Panchavayu breathing, that it should be apanic, samanic, pranic, etc. It should be inhalative, exhalative, retentive, etc. It should be heavy duty, normal duty, feather touch, etc. So certain things must be inscribed in your consciousness so that you won't miss those. These are very basic and fundamental things. So your breathing makes your body matter organ benefactor, beneficiary. Matter similarly, benefactor, beneficiary. And therefore your breath is benefactor, beneficiary. So they should mutually have benefits given and taken. So make your pelvic region as benefactor of your breathing and not only beneficiary. Make your abdominal region benefactor of breathing, not only beneficiary. Make your chest region as benefactor of your breathing, not only beneficiary. Make your back as benefactor of breathing, not merely beneficiary. Make your head, brain, facial as benefactor of breathing and not just beneficiary. So when you are assessing objectively, you will understand what are your obsessions. Some people have certain obsessions. So you will never be identify your obsession unless you are critical. Let go. Assessment. Let go. That's all. Let go. थांबवलं, संपवलं आणि संपलं. आता पुढलं काय वाट बघताय प्रश्नाने सांगायला पाहिजे झोपा. Assessment. Have assessment. What did you miss? Which was vital or trivial from your point of view, than from yoga point of view. So be little critical, hypercritical. Otherwise, we never evolve. That is to evolve spiritually. It is austerities, tapasya. Let go. So it is very natural for us to be self-biased, and it is not natural for us to be self-critical. It is natural for us to be other critical. We will be critical about others, but not so much of ourselves. So that's a natural tendency. Anything done to counter the natural tendency is one of the definitions of tapasya. What is austerity? Is to overcome certain natural processes, certain natural pravrittis and such certain natural nivrittis. We have better terminologies and vernacular. You want everything rendered into English. This is my misfortune that I'm teaching in the 21st century. Because without English, many of you are helpless, hapless, hopeless. One of the definition of tapas is to refrain from restrainable pravrittis and to engage oneself in the refrain from nivrittis. So going against the flow of natural mundane life, to go against the flow is a austerity. So swabhavik pravritti, swabhavik nivritti, this has to be identified. What are my natural inclinations and what are my natural disinclinations? And if you don't really critically look at it, then you will never evolve. You will never reform. So in my book on Ishwar Pranidhan, I have given the definition which is given by one of the mystic poets called Vedanta Desika, where he defines prapatti. Bhagavad pravrutti viruddha swa pravrutti nivrutti prapatti. Unfounding. Bhagavad pravrutti viruddha swa pravrutti nivrutti prapatti. To refrain from that which is against the will of divinity, but it is my will to refrain from that is called prapatti. And that is the tapas. Certain your inclinations are to be set aside. You have to get rid of certain inclinations. Certain disinclinations should be brought in. You are disinclined for something that should be brought in. And that is the way to reform, for which you must have self assessment and little critical assessments of you. But the problem is that we are all self considerate and other critic. We are critical about others. Hey, Suktat, hey, Suktat. Others make mistake, I don't make mistake. Anyway, now you lie down in Shavasana and have your bolster under Swastikasana legs. Have your bolster under Swastikasana legs. Lie down, all of you. Settle down. To find out at some stage, you must have a constant assessor in you. Now you are engaged in something doing. You are what to do, how to do, why to do. All that is in place. All that is in place. Identify and see that online assessment is on. We are today aware of something online. Everything online, online, online. So as if there is online assessment, it may not be possible today, but it has to become possible sooner or later, better sooner than later. So your processor are assessed. So it will not be possible today, but it has to become possible sometimes. Online assessments. So what are you doing? Online assessment. How you are doing online assessment? Why are you doing online assessment? Because you're all today familiar with something online, 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 everything online. Understand? How do you go about? Again, you have to get prepared. So understand, identify the preparatories from a condition you already had or you already have. What is the preparatory with the condition that you already have? Now, these preparatories are different than what was preparatory about 1.25 hour back, or 1 hour back, or half an hour back, or 45 minutes back. Everywhere you had the preparatories, but now find out what is specific preparatory to give one condition. We have already something, you had something, you have something. As such, what is the preparatory? How will you proceed in preparatories? Now take recourse to voluntary normal breathing. Voluntary normal breathing. Now, which is the natural confinement that is there? Is there any natural confinement while it is normal breathing? For you, some of you it might be nostrils, some of you it might be throat, some of you it might be chest. So try to identify what is the natural confinement to your normal breathing voluntarily done. So if you say it is particular confinement, now let me bring to your notice. If you have some kind of connectivity, Wi-Fi connectivity within you, if you have some kind of network within you of whatever caliber, it is actually happening everywhere. Although you say it is a particular confinement, it is happening in the nose area, throat area, chest area, diaphragm area, abdominal area, etc. So although you might identify there is a confinement, but there is already some kind of connectivity, which is one of the aspects of preparatories. Now, being well connected and then being better connected, it will circumscribe entire pan body locations. So it might be primarily a location, but secondarily it is other locations as well. So be aware of it. Primarily a location, but secondarily all other locations. So once you cite that, Then the secondary parts also will get some prominence. They will get some attendance. So keep your circuitous breathing, orbital breathing, rotary breathing, and you can let go for a while. You can revoke it for a while. And again, you can have to reinstate it. Rotary breathing, circuitous breathing. Now your voluntary normal breathing will be in addressal of your body matter, body factors, body organs, in addressal, in addressal of body matter, body factors, body aspects, body facets. Normal breathing addressing the physicality. So in that case, try to understand, define the dynamics that your voluntary normal circuitous rotary breathing is a benefactor and it is addressing the body system, body matter, body factors, body aspects, body facets. How it is feasible, how it is possible, and with what avail, what is consequence of it. You are allowed to revoke it for a while. For a while, you can do mechanical process of breathing, habitual process of breathing. When there is a bluntness, where it loses efficacy, productivity, you can take recourse to mechanical and normal breathing. Again, embark upon conditioned normal breathing, rotary, circuitous, orbital. Now, I want your physical system addressing the breath, vice versa. I want the physical system, physical matter, physical aspects, physical facets addressing your breath. Can they not address? As much as your breath can address your body, can the body not address the breathing and give scope for that, give encouragement for that? Understand the second facet here. So there'll be mutual benefactors and mutual beneficiaries. Your voluntary breathing and the body system, etc., will be mutual benefactors and beneficiaries. Now, actually, that will be the turnaround will be happening. Now, you have to do it voluntarily. That your body is addressing your breathing on one hand, and the breathing is addressing the body on the other hand. So, try to figure out the dynamics of each case. What are the dynamics of each case? So, watching, sensing, perceiving, experiencing, reading, all these aspects get the prominence. And it's not just doing. Many of you say, I am doing pranayam class, I did pranayam class, I want to do pranayam class. And there you miss the bus because you are engaged in doing. Teachers give you a scheme to do. They say Viloma 1, Viloma 2, Ujjayi, etc. And then you just end up doing it. There you miss the bus because you don't watch, you don't sense, you don't feel, you don't experience, you don't read. But I want you to read here. Circuitous breathing as a benefactor of body system, body matter, body organs, body facets, and vice versa. Now, for a while, between breath and your mind, The breath addressing your mind, awareness, psyche, consciousness, and vice versa. Mind addressing the breath. They are capable of mutually addressing each other. So in a circuitous normal breathing, orbital normal breathing, I want you to have the turn around. It is actually there. You miss to identify it, but in that case, you have to do it. The breathing is for mind system, and the mind system is for your breath system. Voluntary, normal breathing. It might be a little deeper than normal because it is voluntarily done. Now, the precept of the class for you shines valid. What are you doing? How are you doing? Why are you doing? What are they doing? How are they doing? Why are they doing? What is it doing? How it is doing? Why it is doing? So, online assessments find out when does it become possible. Like you are aware of these days on camera processes. I said, don't just have awareness. You must have on awareness process. Don't just be aware. On awareness process is like on camera process. Your awareness is like camera. It is catching every single thing, it misses nothing. If it's the on camera process, nothing is missed. So on awareness process means awareness misses nothing. But if you just do with awareness, you might miss so many things. So online assessment, online awareness. Now, can you go to another location, voluntarily opt for another location? As I said, so far it was natural location that you went for, but it did happening everywhere because of network. Now you opt for another location. Suppose you did not do pelvic location, go for pelvic location. If you did not do abdominal location, go for abdominal location. If you did not do brain location, go for brain location. Normal breathing, rotary breathing, voluntary breathing. So between body, breath, mind systems, breath as benefactor, body as beneficiary, and vice versa. Breath as benefactor, mind as beneficiary, and vice versa. Mind as benefactor and body as beneficiary, vice versa. So therefore, it will be holistic process in the sense WHOLE whole, and therefore it will be holy HOLY, and that is yogic. So we have opted for another location. So although you have gone for a confinement of another location, because of the networking, it will happen all over. It will happen everywhere. So addressing the breath, addressing body, and vice versa. The breath addressing mind and vice versa. Mind addressing body and vice versa. So mutually they must be addressing. That voluntary normal breathing can be slightly extended so that you don't have to take intermittent normal cycles. So marginally increase the volume. So it is more circumscribing. It is more circumscribing. Orbits are more circumscribing. However, you can have cluster of cycles. If you go for complete inhalation, then you take couple of recovery cycles. Complete exhalation or complete inhalation, you go for couple of recovery cycles. But slightly enhance the diameter of your breathing orbits. Now go for the breath addressing the body system, body organs, body matter, and vice versa. Breath system addressing the mind system, mind organs, mind factors, facets, etc., and vice versa. The mind addressing the body similarly, and vice versa. So mutually, they should be addressing each other. Couple of mechanic cycles, recovery cycles, whenever it is less productive. Orbital breathing is less productive. In that case, you can take recourse to mechanical breathing, recovery breathing, recover, refresh, revamp, rejuvenate, and again proceed for orbital breathing. So again, it is on awareness process, on assessment process, figure out what is being done, why something is being done, how something is being done. So when you watch the why you are doing, maybe you will rationalize the why. In that case, the what and how will change. Sometimes you are considering the how we are doing. If you rationalize how we are doing, the what will change and why will change. Understand that the relationship between the what, how, and why, they also have mutual relationships. Why can be decider of what and how can be decider of what and why, what can be decider of why, how and why. So they have mutual relationships. They are siblings, not three things. They are in the internal realm, they are siblings. Now, for a while, all of you go for brain confinement. If you are in it, you will continue. If you are elsewhere in other confinement, converge on brain confinement, head confinement, face confinement. Orbital breathing, perhaps little hypernormal, then you can slowly go for more hyper, more and more hyper, more and more hypernormal. When you go for more and more hypernormal, the cluster reduces. Now, let's take recourse to the Swara Kriya. Swara Kriya of Akash. H, couple of cycles of H, couple of cycles of Ha, couple of cycles of He, Hu, He, Hai, Ho, Hau, Hum, Ha. So there are 10. There are 10 Swarakriyas of Akash in the brain confinement. Understand what, how, why. What are they doing? How are they doing? Why are they doing whatever they are doing? The Akasha Swarakriya. Her, so couple of cycles of each vowelization. And then see how you have a rapatwa. You have a quiver because the 10 Swarakriyas will work in 10 different ways, 10 different processes, and 10 different whys, 10 different whats, 10 different whys, and 10 different hows. So, watching, sensing, feeling, perceiving, experiencing, reading. See, the cognitive process is given prominence in yoga. So, you'll have, say, 20 or 30 cycles because I said cluster. So, if you do two each, it will be 20. I said few cycles, so it can't be one cycle. It should be at least two. If it is two, it will involve cluster of 20. If it is three, it will involve a cluster of 30 cycles, so on and so forth. Now, as and when you come to the last vowelization, which is ha, you be in your process, don't wrap up. If I say something else, if I ask you to do something else, don't wrap up what you are doing. You have to complete it. Subsequently, you'll be doing the Vayu Swara Kriya of the chest confinement, little lower part than where you are doing now or where you did now, below the throat. Y, ya, ye, you. Few cycles of each vowel. What, how, why. It is on awareness process. So you'll have to figure out what, how, and why. So one of the three can be decided. How can be decided? Then see how the why and what gets decided. When the why is decided, understand the dynamics. When the what is decided, understand the dynamics. When the why is decided, understand the dynamics. So addressing body system, breath system, mind system, usually addressing with the Swara Kriya of Vayu, Vayu Tattva, Vayu element. Y, Ya, Ye, You, Ye, Yai, Yo, Yau, Yam, Yaha. Few cycles of each. And in addressal, the breathing addressing the body system, etc. Breath addressing the and the vice versa. Breath system addressing the mind system, etc. And vice versa. mind addressing the body system, etc., and vice versa. So this is what the tradition enjoins, that these things should be done, that they are mutual benefactor beneficiaries in addressal process. So when you come to the last swara kriya, which is yaha, you will go for r. You will proceed for r. That is swara kriya of the teja tattva. Swara kriya of the teja tattva. R, ra, ri, ru, so on and so forth. It will be little more lower. It will be little more lower. So again, taking cognizance of what, why, how. That's the precept of the day, precept of the class today. How, what, why. The mutual addressals between body, mind, breath systems, mutual addressals. Whenever it require, when the forces are blunted, you can take a break, recover, refresh, revamp, rejuvenate, and again proceed, embark upon it. So the process is addressal process. They should be mutually addressing each other. They should be mutually addressed by each other. See the restlessness in you people that you can't even stay there, although it is a comfortable position. So 10 swaras of the Teja Tattva, few cycles each. That is minimum two. So as it is orbital breathing, I don't know how many of you have understood this implication. If it is orbital breathing, it is either clockwise or anti-clockwise. If it is clockwise, there is also anti-clockwise process. If it is anti-clockwise, there is also clockwise process. So education will make you aware of it. Otherwise, you will be never aware of it without education. So it can be done either ways. So after the Tejas Swaraj, body of 10, then comes the Ap Tattva, the letter vowelization of the V, V, Va, V, Vu, Ve, P, A, V, double E, V, double E, etc. Vowelizing the V. It will be going for further lower location, confinement. Mark that. V, Va, Vi, Vu, Ve, Vai, Wo, Vau, Vam, Vaha. Addressal. Addressal is the process. Finally, there is Prithvi Swara Kriya, which is la, la, li, lu, which is posted to further lower part, almost the pit of the trunk. La, la, li, lu, de. You go your process away, don't have to wrap up. You complete your process wherever you are, and then proceed in that order. The class of her, class of your, class of r, class of v, class of l. That is Akash, Vayu, Tej, Aap, Prithvi. In addressal process and trying to figure out the what, how, and why. So learning yoga is not just to learn what to do, what to do, what to do, or how to do, how to do, how to do. That is how yoga is taught today. What to do and how to do, that's all. There are several whys, starting from fitness, materialism, to higher and higher and higher whys, sublime whys, essential whys. As and when you are done with the Panchatattvas, Swara Kriyas, you will revoke it and you will go lie down once again with the bolster spine wise, your favorite way. As and when you finish up to the Swara Kriya of Prithvi, la, la, li, lu. Now let me have an expose. I will expose you. So many of you got bored. Many of you lost integrations. Many of you felt it is enough. Actually, you are supposed to be doing that, but then some of you got bored, some of you thought enough, some of you thought it is punitive. So if that is the expose, you are supposed to be doing that. That is your responsibility to accomplish the Panchatattva Swara Kriyas. But many of you gave up halfway, or were bored halfway, or it is punitive halfway, because you are in rampant consumerism. You have to feel advantageous, then you are motivated to do. If you don't feel advantageous, then you are motivated to be doing it. Ladder में spinal bolster as when you finish. So you assess yourself, were you really religiously doing throughout, or did you compromise, because of boredom, because of problem, because of dis-ease, that you were not comfortable, therefore it was dis-ease. You want to every time advantageous, phenomenal advantageous, then you are motivated. If you don't have phenomenal advantages, then you are motivated. Now that is not yoga dharma. In yoga dharma, you are supposed to do it. And therefore you have to have sense of responsibility, that I have a responsibility to accomplish it. I can't shirk for the sake of discomfort, for the sake of any discomfort coming up. You have to reform yourself. So the now all of you will go for a deeper exhalations, slower, deeper, qualitatively richer, qualitatively fine and super fine. So exhalation will be done in hopping process or waves of exhalations to accomplish it, complete it, and do with Akash Swara. So in that exhalation, you can use vowelization itself. Ha, each wave, you can change the vowelization. Ha, he, who, he, so on and so forth. So 10 vowelizations of Akash. Find out the breath, what it does for other systems, and vice versa. What the mind does for other systems, and vice versa. What the body system does for other systems, and vice versa. So, what, how, and why. Try to be clear about what, how, and why. So, couple of cycles of deeper exhalations of the vowelization of the swara kriyas of Akash. So, it will be done in waves, ripples, and each ripple will have vowelization modified. So, figure out what is happening, why something is happening, how something is happening. The next will be Vayu Swara Kriya. Y, ya, ye, you, ye, yai, yo, yau, yam, yaha. So you can have all the 10 vowels in maybe in one exhalation or maybe two exhalations. So use the vowelizations in successive order and find out what is happening. What is happening between body, mind, breath systems mutually, why something is happening, how something is happening, what should happen ideally, how something should happen ideally, why something should happen ideally. Vayu, Swarakriya, Y, Ya, Yi. So couple of cycles of that. Watching, sensing, experiencing, feeling, on awareness process, on assessment process. As I said, if not today, it can happen sometimes that it can be on assessment process that it is simultaneously assessed as well. It may not happen today, but it can happen. After the Vayu Swara Kriya comes the Tej Swara Kriya. R, Ra, Ri, Ru, Re, so on and so forth. What, how, why? What is the inherent education and what is upcoming education? the seed farm education and sprout farm education. So that's the Tej Swara Kriya. R, Ra, Ri, Ru, Re, Rai, Ro, Rau, Ram, Raha. So couple of cycles of each of the Swara Kriyas, each of the Tattvas, their Swara Kriya. The next comes the Aap. V, Va, Vi, Vu, Ve, so on and so forth. So try to figure out the what, the how, and the why. And the last is Prithvi Swara Kriya, which is vowelization of the L, L-A, L-double-A, L-double-E, L-double-O, so on and so forth. L, La, Li, Lu, Le, Lai, Lo, Lau, Lam, Laha. In a cycle, you can use multiple vowels and circumscribe all the 10 vowels. Watching, sensing, perceiving, cognizing, experiencing, reading, comprehending, understanding. Yoga is something to be understood rather than something to be just done. The done won't take you to accomplishment because it's a knowledge process, not an activity process. So as and when you finish the Prithvi Swara Kriya, La, La, Li, Lu, Le, etc., that marks the end of a precept, end of the concept, end of the class as well. So something in yoga, you have to identify something has to be done. And you can't be in a consumeristic culture. I will do as much as possible, as much as I want. You have to accomplish something. Then you will roll to the right and you will come up. Particularly is the old psychosis. जमेल तेवढं करीन. I will do as much as possible. This is consumerism. You should know that it's a commitment. I have to do that much. So how do you handle responsibilities? पुरे वाटलं जबाबदारी सोडली असं करता येत नाही. You have to accomplish the responsibility. Therefore, give up this psychosis, particularly old people. Try as much as I can, try as much as I want, and then stop it, suspend it. Yoga needs a commitment. So you have to have sense of responsibility. You have to do with a sense of responsibility and liability. I am liable to do it. I am liable to complete it and not give up halfway. So it is childishness and it is oldishness. The child will do as much as it wants. The child doesn't have commitment. I have to complete it. And the child is pardoned because it doesn't have that faculty. It is childishness to do as much as possible or it is oldishness as much as possible, as much as I want. So you have to identify the commitment if you are in yoga. That's why today I said Swara Kriya of the Panchatattvas. You can't leave it halfway just because I felt enough. The rampant consumerism must be banished from your culture because we have encouraged consumerism in the formative yoga. जमेल तेवढं करा. As long as you feel fine, do it. You don't feel fine, don't do it. This is consumerism. Anyway, you are relieved from me. Pack up, put the things back, untie the wall ropes, clear the windows, get the props inside.